Jose Hernandez handing over spacewalk choreography chores to Pat Forrester for the remainder of the spacewalk until the crew is back inside the Quest airlock at the completion of this first EVA.
We have step 13 done.
Okay, I am clear, Nicole.
Okay, coming out.
And Pat, I can verify I got 2 handles down. And you'll see as you come out, that's a wire tie on the handrail. Kind of want to avoid that.
Okay. Yep.
And Nicole Stott moves out of the Quest airlock to begin her first spacewalk. As you follow along on these helmet camera views that we'll be seeing throughout the course of the night, helmet camera number 18, that is Daniel Levis's helmet camera. Nicole Stott's helmet camera is serial number 16.
Okay, Danny, the first thing for you is to translate to the P1 ATA via the F0 route, and I've got some fare leads when you're ready for them.
A good view of Daniel Levis at the spent ammonia tank assembly. This spent tank weighs almost 1,300 pounds. It will be removed and grappled by the Canadarm2 and held in place for the next day and a half until the new ammonia tank assembly is installed in its place during the second spacewalk Thursday by Olivas and Christer Fugelsang. Stott moving over to join Danny Olivas at the work site for the release of the ammonia tank assembly. Kevin Ford now moving the Canadarm2 into position to grapple the grapple fixture on the ammonia tank assembly. Danny Olivas and Nicole Stott made short work of its release as they demated a quartet of ammonia and pressurization lines, cooling and pressurization lines, as well as 4 bolts holding the tank in place on the Port 1 truss.
And Pat, just reporting off my message. CO2 sensor bad.
Okay, I understand you have a CO2 sensor message.
Yeah. With a reading of 48.0.
48.0, stay by. And Houston, copy. Hey, Nicole, are you having any type of CO2 symptoms now?
Nope, nothing.
Okay, I think what we're going to do is press on. We'll recognize that that sensor may be bad, and what we'll do is check in with you for CO2 symptoms. If you start to feel something before I ask, please be sure to tell me, and we'll go to a helmet purge valve.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Now, the second thing I had for you is I wanted you to use your wrist mirror and look up and see if you still have a green light for your WVS.
I do not.
Okay, if you can reach up there and press that button.
Nicole Stott has reconfigured the end of the station robotic arm, and Kevin Ford soon will maneuver the arm operating from the robotics workstation in the Destiny laboratory over to the Columbus module for the next task of this first spacewalk, that being the removal of the European Technology Experiment Facility, or UTEF, from the end cone of the Columbus module. The UTEF experiment, along with another experiment called Solar, those two payloads were installed on the end of the Columbus module by Rex Walheim and Stan Love on February 15th, 2008 during a 7-hour, 25-minute spacewalk, the third spacewalk of the STS-128 mission that also delivered the Columbus module to the International Space Station. Solar will remain at the Columbus module, UTEF being returned home for analysis by the European investigators.
Great work, you guys, at this work site.
The Canadarm2 multitasking, grappled on to the ammonia tank assembly and being used to haul Nicole Stott and the European Technology Experiment Facility over to Discovery's cargo bay, where it will be berthed on a cargo platform for the trip back home. You can see at the bottom of your screen, still attached to the end of the Columbus module, is the MISSI experiment packages, the materials for ISS experiment packages. Those two experiment attaché cases will be folded up and removed from brackets at the end of Columbus and brought back into the payload bay to be stowed on the port sidewall carriers of Discovery's cargo bay.
That's good motion. Continue.
Continuing.
Continue as motion.
We're looking at sequential still video now from inside Discovery's cargo bay. You can see Danny Olivas there on the left, Nicole Stott there on the right. They are continuing to try to get this UTEF experiment installed at the back end of the payload bay. What is happening is that they're trying to get this UTEF experiment bolted down into Discovery's payload bay. There's a single bolt that will hold that experiment into place. It requires 11 turns with a pistol grip tool. Stott is only able to turn it 2 turns. She has tried this twice now and got the same result both times. So the EVA team is taking a look at what could possibly be causing that bolt not to turn all the way.
Okay, I got 11 turns.
En route.
I do have a low torque indication. I was kind of off axis. I can go hit it again. See if we get it to the proper torque.
Stand by. And do we have the out tab?
We do have the out tab.
Okay, break Houston. Good news, I'm sure you followed. We have 11 turns on this with an out indication. We do have a low torque light on the PTT. Danny reported he was off axis. Would you like for him to retorque it?
Yes, Pat, we followed along. Great news, and yes, please go retorque it.
Copy.
The next major task for both Stott and Olivas is to retrieve the materials ISS experiment. The numbers on them are 6A and 6B. They're basically two square plates that have different types of materials that have been exposed to space for about a year and a half. There's about 400 different materials included in this experiment. They're going to come back home at the end of this mission so that scientists can take a look at them and see how the different types of materials have reacted being out in the vacuum of space all that time.
Okay, Cat, you are clear to continue with our motion out of the payload bay.
Okay, so you're ready to get rid of me, and we'll move forward in the payload bay and then start up in the payload bay. And if you could just keep your eye on it and make sure everything is nice and clear, and then I'll let you know when I get a good clearance view.
I will do that.
Okay, everything clear of the arm, Nicole? I think we have good clearance view.
Clear.
What?
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anytime.
STS-128 mission specialist Danny Olivas making good progress on this MISSI experiment, getting ready to remove it. He has so far removed what's called pip pins, which are little small quick disconnect pins that we're holding these two. You see them on the right and the left, almost suitcase-like experiments open, and he has put those pins back in to secure them closed for the ride home. He is now in the process of removing the different connectors and cables. As he continues to work on this, Expedition 20 flight engineer Nicole Stott is on her way from Discovery's payload bay up to Columbus to help out Olivas through the remainder of this activity. You see Stott there making her way fairly rapidly up the payload bay of Discovery.
The band tech is installed.
These pip pins, as they are called, are just small pins that hold these experiments into place. They have rings on the end of them. There were some issues with these pins back on STS-123, which was back in March of 2008. That's when this experiment was installed. It appears as though their attitude has not changed over the past year and a half, as they're giving Olivas problems right now, not wanting to come out.
Move aft and to your left down the payload bay sill.
Right.
You've got it right there.
The ring has come off the end of one of them, so you see Olivas here in his helmet cam. He's getting out basically a small hammer-like tool, and he's going to try to hammer it out.
And good news, pin's out.
Great. So which pin was that, Denny?
That's the pin with the ring.
Okay, and you're going to go to work on the other one now?
Yes, sir.